Are you thinking about relocating to Zambia and starting your life over here? Well, before you do, make sure you watch this video because I'm going to share some important updates and give you a step-by-step of what I would do if I was coming into the country right now with everything that's going on. Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me as I've been going through this expat lifestyle for 9 years now. I'm now settled in Zambia in the city of Lusaka. I'm on my fourth country, third continent or something like that. I don't even remember. I've been traveling so much these last 9 years. But most importantly, I've been sharing insights on what I would do if I'm relocating to Africa, how I would do it, and just share things with you that I'm learning along the process to make it easier for you. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. So today's video, I want to give you an update on if you're actually thinking about coming to settle in Zambia. This is the southern region of Africa, a beautiful country, very safe country. However, some things have drastically changed. And one of the things that I have noticed so far with Africa, things can change here very fast. Now, when I'm saying things are changing, I'm not talking about danger. So just get that part out of your mind. What I'm talking about is some of the things dealing with the infrastructure and your ability to be comfortable here in Africa. And so the thing that Zambia is facing right now is they have been going through a huge drought. Last season, the rains did not come. The dam, that's the hydroelectric dam, it actually starting to dry up. And so with that starting to dry up, it is now creating an energy crisis here. And so what I mean by an energy crisis is we're starting to experience something called load shedding. Now, if you're from the United States or the UK, you may have never heard of this, but this is where they're actually going through, they're shutting down parts of the electric grid. And what it does is to try to conserve as much electricity as possible so it doesn't just run out or the electric plants don't actually shut down. So now, right now in Zambia, because of how bad the crisis is, and let me just say this before I get into that. I don't know about if it's political things, guys. Like, I don't get into the politics. And please hear me on this. If you're deciding to become an expat, a nomad, or just live abroad, do not get into the politics of things. This is one of the beautiful things about being able to move abroad. Like, even if you're someone from the continent of Africa and you're moving to the United States, stay as far away from the politics as possible. It's going to ruin your experience there. And so just please listen to me that. So like, I don't know if there's political things involved in this. I'm just going by the actual physical stuff that I know that is affecting it. And that is the drought. The drought now, I think it's the Karibu. If one of my Zambian brothers or sisters, please let me know exactly how to spell it down below. But that dam is now getting very dried up. And it's because of the drought. So because of that, it has now made load shedding very, very, very bad. And what I mean by that is some areas are going up to 2 days without power, without electricity. And like even in my area, the schedule is supposed to be 3 hours a day. I think yesterday I got it for about 2.5 hours. Some days I can get it for 4 or 5 hours. Like today it is now almost 10 o'clock. I've had it for 3 hours. So I'm in an area where some days I have good days, some days it's bad. So you have to be understanding of that. It doesn't mean this is going to be the new normal here, but as long as the drought is becoming an issue, and hopefully come November or December, the rains start coming back, which if the rains start coming back, it will start improving on that electricity issue. And so I want to be very, very open and honest about that, because like, let's say if you're someone who needs a CPAP machine, or you're someone that's highly dependent on electricity right now to maybe to be able to work abroad and things like that, you need to come here with a plan. They do have solar backups here. You can get generator backups here. I was talking to a supplier about 3 days ago in town, and I think he quoted me high because of my accent, but it was maybe about 2,500 to 4,000 US dollars. And that's what a solar inverter is, the big lithium battery. I saw the battery myself. So it's not the gel batteries, it's the lithium battery with the solar panels. And it was going to include the installation of it also from his workers. So you can get those things here if you have it within your budget. But if you're someone who may not have that excess in your budget, just be mindful of that, because with the electricity issue right now, it doesn't look like it's going to improve anytime soon. Like right now, we're beginning the summertime here, so it's getting hot. But like it's not actually going to improve until the rains actually come back. Even with me, what I'm thinking about doing is once my lease is up here, I'm going to actually downsize into a smaller place, maybe a bed sitter or something, which is like just a big open studio apartment. Not that big at all, just because it'll be easier and simpler to just have some solar panels on there to keep it going up, keep it going during the daytime and nighttime if I need to. And then as I'm starting to develop the land that I've just purchased last week, I'll be able to probably build my own house there, and then I'll fully fit that place with solar. So with that being said, and explaining that there is an electricity crisis here right now, how would I recommend you to be coming into Zambia? And it's a few ways that I will come in. The first way, I will be coming in as someone who wants to travel. So let's say if you're someone who wants to travel Africa, see as many countries as possible, I would still make Zambia my home base. And the reason being is the cost of living here is very affordable. You can get a very nice 2-bedroom house for less than $200 US. And then that way you have whatever little things you need to be secured. They can be secured in your house, and you're just going through traveling. So you won't see as much of the load shedding on a day-to-day basis unless you're doing like me, where you're here months at a time, and you may travel every 3 or 4 months. And the reason why I say that is, compared to other places, like some of the cost of living in some of these African countries are expensive. Like, don't believe the media and think that Africa is just some poor continent. Africa has all walks and shapes of life. What I mean by that, they have the very high end, they have very low end. Like I pay less than $200 a month for my 2-bedroom house, but like less than a 10-minute drive in Kingsland Court, they're charging $1,500 and up a month. Like, it's crazy. So don't think like every country you go to is going to be dirt cheap, or you're going to find the most affordable living. There are places that are very expensive. So please be in mind of that. And so that's why I still say you can make Zambia your home base. And plus the location of where Zambia is, if you want to go to South Africa, it's about $150 flight. If you want to get to Botswana, you can just catch a bus there. If you want to go to Zimbabwe, you can bus. You can take the train to Tanzania, or you can bus or fly there. It's in a very good location to be able to hit all other countries. And it's bordered by 7 different countries. So be mindful of that. Now, the second group that I would be talking to is if you're someone that's actually looking to make money. Now, that is one of the biggest things about me with being in Africa. I wasted a lot of time and a lot of money being in Central and South America, where it was either too expensive to start buying in and investing into businesses, or it was a little bit too dangerous, meaning I just didn't trust the climate of doing business there. And so here it is very safe. It's very affordable to get into business here. And the thing about it with this electricity crisis is, now this is just my opinion, what I'm saying here, it has now put Zambia into a depression. And I'm talking about an economic depression. And the reason why I say it's an economic depression is you have to start looking at like how many small businesses are starting to close down. Like, one of the things and one of the key triggers to see if there's a depression or a recession going on in a country is you look at the small businesses. A lot of people think like, oh, if the big businesses are closing down, things are getting bad. No, big businesses will always be bailed out by governments. Look at the United States, how when everything that was going on during the pandemic, the big businesses were taking a lot of that money that mom and pop businesses needed, because they have more lobbying power. And that's just business around the world. Like, it's not a US thing. It's not a UK thing. It's just, that's a corporate structure of business. And so here, with a lot of the smaller businesses starting to go out of business, like even when I was just at East Park Mall the other day, I was walking around different areas and there was a lot of shops open now. And when I first got to the country, December of last year, all of these shops were full. And now I would say there's about 10 or maybe 12 of them that are empty. That is a lot of shops. That's a lot of businesses that could not keep up. And one of the reasons they're having problems keeping up is if you're dependent on electricity, now you have to go find an alternate source. Even if you go buy solar and things like that, how is your business going to recoup those expenses that wasn't expected? Or if you're using a generator now, how much are you going to be able to, how long can you keep running off of diesel fuel or petrol fuel to keep those generators going, to keep the electricity going without raising the price of your goods? And so because this is happening, Zambia is getting more affordable from an investor's point of view. Now, what I mean by that is people are going to start selling off things. People are starting to sell more land. Things of those are coming up available. So this is why I just actually purchased a 40 meter by 30 meter plot out in Westwood. And I purchased 2 plots just to build shops. The reason being is more and more people are going to start leaving from the city. So if you look at how economies, how countries work and cities work when there's depressions or recessions, you see a lot of people leaving from the bigger cities and they're going outskirts because it's a cheaper living out there. And so I see a good 5-10 year plan of where Lusaka is getting over, the city itself is becoming overpriced. Real estate is not going to go down. Real estate never goes down no matter what happens. And so people are going to start commuting more and start looking for different areas outside of the city. And so I saw this as a very good investment opportunity to be able to develop not only a house for myself, but for potential rental income also. And it's a great way to actually start up my first tiny home community, which is something that I want to do, is create affordable living in tiny homes, make them really nice. So like even this morning, while I had power, I've been looking at tiny home designs just to see what size do I want to do. Do I want to try to do a 2-story tiny home? All those different things. And so if you're coming here with that outlook of, I want to purchase land, I want to develop, I want to open up businesses, this is prime opportunity for you. Because this is the thing too. And a lot of people don't talk about this, but this is just the truth no matter where you are in the world. And I've seen it over and over and over again, no matter where I'm living in the world. During economic hardships, people with money, the rich, get richer. The people who are doing okay, stay okay. The people who are not doing that great, they stay not doing that great. This is going to create new generations of your high class, your middle class, and your low class. This is what these times do. And so you want to be someone that can take advantage of it. And so if you're coming here with an outside income, such as bringing in dollars, euro, pounds, why not come here and use the currency to your advantage? Multiply your money by 25 or 26. And then you come here, you're investing in it. And so when the economy actually bounces back here, now you've got a double compounding return on that. You've compounded it from transitioning your currency over, and you're getting things a lot cheaper. And I hate using that word cheaper, but more affordable. Let me say that. And then also you're compounding your money as the economy here is getting better, which means the things that you purchased are now worth more. So really think about that. And that's why I say I wanted to really highlight that type of person that may want to be here. Now, if you're someone, you may not be able to retire here right now or come here, be in the country, then find someone local on the ground, preferably someone from your home country that you can build a relationship with, someone that you can get to know and trust, sign documents. The legal system here is really great. And then just invest in with someone. Like, you can't be afraid to invest in with someone. You just want to do your due diligence and just follow your gut instinct a lot too. Like, people who are criminals or people who are going to scam you and all of that, they're pretty upfront about it. Like, they're not really people of their word. And one of the things that I go by with my life is it's easier to remember the truth and keep up a lie. Like, so many people lie sometimes, and it's like, And they don't remember what the lie they told because they got to keep telling the new lie because they don't tell the truth. And so just be mindful that if you're someone who's just going to stay on the outside of the country and want to invest in. So be careful with that, okay? And if you have any other questions dealing with that, just shoot me a message at bjc261982@gmail.com. Now, the third person that I want to talk to is the retirement person. I would not recommend coming to Zambia right this minute to retire here. Here's the reason why. And when I say retire, I mean living full time in the country. Unless you have the money to either develop your own house, or purchase solar for a house that you're going to be renting. You want to be able to live as comfortable as possible. You don't want to feel like you're moving to a country and you're feeling like you're missing out on things. And electricity is such a major issue. I don't think sometimes we realize how much electricity plays in our day-to-day life. Like you can start going through depression, not being able to just get on your phone, not being able to watch TV, see a movie. All of those different things can affect you. So be very cautious that if you're going to retire. And that's why I say if you don't have the excess money, I would say an excess of about 5,000 US dollars to invest in a good solar system, then just hold off. Now, what you may want to do if you're that person that's looking to retire, come here, get your everything settled up, and then go to another country like maybe South Africa, Botswana, and just spend 3 to 6 months between those two while things are slowly getting better here. Other thing you can do if you want to do that is, if you're a retired person that want to build your dream home, get you a plot of land here, but then leave and just have someone manage and oversee that land for you in the development. But if you know for sure, like it's going to bother you not having electricity for probably 20, 21 hours a day, then just be very mindful of that. If you have any other questions or comments, just shoot me a message down below or contact me directly on my email. And I'm going to keep you up to date on this as things getting better or getting worse to let you know, because I just want to be very transparent on this. And it's just one of the things, like Africa is great, but don't think Africa is utopia. Every place you go to in the world is going to have good and bad. There's going to be ups and downs to it. If you would have told me December when I first came here, wasn't experiencing load shedding for months, that, hey, come September, man, you're going to be in 20 to 21 hour load shedding in some days, I would have laughed at you because I didn't even see that as a possible option. But it is a reality right now. And you just have to have grace with things and just look at the good and the bad. And one of the things that I also want to just say, even when things may seem bad, there is something good about it also. Like I say, yes, the electricity sucks. Yes, it sucks that some of the businesses are closing down. However, it's given an opportunity to buy land more affordable, to open up businesses. It's giving you an opportunity to actually do the things that you may have not been able to do in your home country because it was so out of reach financially. And so just really think about that and don't just look at the negative and dwell on that all the time. And so just remember this, I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.